Good morning. This is Freeze Notice meteorologist Joshua Seneschal. I'm going to take a look at the morning temperatures here across the plains. Also take a look at the latest crop progress report and make some comments about the weather the next 5 days. So obviously, starting out this morning, it is just a tad bit cold out there. We have a lot of areas 20s and 30s in Kansas, Oklahoma, even into far northern Texas. Morning lows right now drop down to 24 in Amarillo, Texas, and also in Dodge City, Kansas. 28 degrees was your low in Denton, Texas, and Woodward, Oklahoma. So we didn't see a huge area of sub-25 degree temps. Typically, when you're looking for damage to the winter wheat crop, you have to be below 25 for at least 2 hours. Most areas were in the middle to upper 20s and lower 30s. So we didn't see too much widespread damage. However, we have been cold enough for at least some spotty damage, especially northwestern Texas, eastern panhandle of Oklahoma, and into central and western Kansas. So that's kind of your frigid start here in this morning. And in addition to these cold temps this morning, looking at the latest crop progress report, obviously a lot of areas are behind schedule. Let's take a look at the number of days suitable for field work here last week. And this kind of clues you into why areas are behind schedule for planting. National average around 3.4 days out of the last 7 were suitable for field work. Most areas in the Midwest Delta, 3 days or less. We did see frequent rainfall, which put a big dent into our ability to get on the fields, prep fields, and get stuff planted. And unfortunately, as a result, our corn planted versus the 5-year average is pretty much below normal across the board. The exception is Texas and Louisiana, which are actually 2%, Texas and Kansas, which are actually 2% ahead of schedule, which is kind of interesting here. But most of the Midwest is below normal. Illinois, 9% behind schedule. This time, normally, they have 10% of their corn planted. Right now, they have 1%. So obviously, it's going to be very important in the next several days that we have drier weather and also warmer temperatures to get those soil temps up there. Now let's take a look at the soil temperatures on Saturday morning. This is a look at Iowa's soil temperatures, 4-inch, and 40s, 50s, and even some 60s. We had very warm soil temperatures when we had that boost in temps, but when we had that cool down later in the weekend and recently, this was the soil temperature yesterday morning, 30s and 40s. In the next couple of days, below normal temperatures are going to keep these soil temperatures, at least in the central northern Corn Belt, in the 40s and lower 50s, which is a little bit colder than what we would want if we're going to be getting ready to plant. Now, this is a look at the 5-day temperature anomaly forecast. And as you can see, below normal temperatures for most of the plains and Midwest, 5 to 10 below normal the next 5 days. So obviously, those soil temperatures are going to be pretty slow to warm. Good news is I do think we have warmer weather coming into the weekend into next week. And how about that rainfall? We need to get on those fields and get some stuff planted. Good news is generally light and occasional rainfall chances for the Midwest and Delta over the next 5 days. Nothing significant in general, less than a half inch is what we're expecting. So we have kind of weathered the storm here. This is the coldest morning I expect in the next several days, possibly the coldest morning until this fall. And also rainfall chances will become much more isolated the next several days, in addition to warmer temperatures eventually coming in during the weekend. So it looks like crop prospects, wheat, it looked like the markets were pretty skeptical there would be much in the way of damage. I don't think there was any extensive damage. Crop prospects will increase in the hard red winter wheat areas this weekend. Once we see better rain chances and warmer temperatures, that could send prices down even more. And it looks like we will start to pick up the pace a little bit with that corn planting as we see a bit of a drier and eventually a warmer pattern moving in. So thank you for listening. We'll have more updates, one likely on Friday, talking more about the El Nino. So make sure to have a good day and stay tuned.